What a wonderful game in the Champions League. Welcome to Tactics Breakdown. We're going to have a discussion about the Champions League game that happened between Paris Saint-Germain and also Bayern Munich. These two teams came into this game. People were tipping this game to be the final before the final, but we are going to get two semi-finals games. Especially looking at this game, you'll be excited to watch the second leg at Allianz Arena. I'm going to break down to you, especially going into the game, what was the expected goals by both teams? How did they set up with the structure? How did we get a 9-goal trailer in this game? What both managers did in the game, especially playing like a chess game. You could see the ball moving from one end to another, and also the team scoring out of nowhere, especially looking at the XG, which I'm going to break down to you. It doesn't really match the game we saw, and that is what the Champions League bring you. We are going to go into details on that, but firstly, let's look at MyBet.Africa, the #1 betting platform in the country. Their new platform is very exciting. Anywhere you place your bet, I want you to try MyBet.Africa's platform right now. Scan the QR code on the screen and get a chance to also bet on their platform. With this Champions League, as the game was going on, they have a live bet builder option also going on. So with the first half ending in a 3-2, I was like, no, this game would give us a lot of goals. So in the second half, I placed my bet on over 2.5 in the second half. It was 3.5 odds, and I won excitingly from MyBet.Africa. So you also need to be part, register on their platform, and on their live bet option or live bet builder option, you can also be betting whilst the game is also going on. That is what MyBet.Africa gives you. Any other betting platform in this world doesn't give you. So sign up now and be part of the MyBet.Africa family. Let's firstly look at both teams' lineup, and later we'll come back to the statistics, how both teams set up, and also how did Luis Enrique get a goal ahead of Vincent Kompany, who was not on the touchline today. So let's look at both teams' lineup. So with both teams' lineup, Paris Saint-Germain, that is the home team, started with Safonov in post. He has been the #1 for Paris Saint-Germain for some time now. Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, Mendes has been that natural back four, always they go into games with. Fabian Luiz was available, but Zaire Emery started with Vitinha and also Joao Neves. We saw Kvaratskhelia, who has been one of the best players in this Champions League, getting 14 goals out of 12 games. Ousmane Dembele, Ballon d'Or winner, also coming in, and Desire Day also being on the right side for Paris Saint-Germain. Looking at the Bayern Munich team, we had Manuel Neuer in post, Stanisic from the right, we had Alphonso Davies starting, who was taking off in the second half. We have Tah, Upamecano, Kimmich, Pavlovic, Luis Diaz, Musiala, Olise, and also Harry Kane. Let's go into statistic-wise of these two teams. And with the statistics, it goes like this. Ball possession was 57 for Bayern Munich and 43 for that is Paris Saint-Germain. Expected goals, that is where the fun is. Paris Saint-Germain had 1.91. They were, with the chances they created, they were expecting goals of 1 point. That is up to 2. And Bayern Munich, on the other hand, was 2.51. They were expecting at least 3 goals in the game. Shot on target, 12-10. And we had total shot, that was 12-10. Shot on target was 8 for Bayern Munich and also 5 for Paris Saint-Germain. Chances created, Bayern Munich created 6 clear chances and missed 3. Paris Saint-Germain created 2 clear chances and also missed 1. Going into this game, you could see that this statistics doesn't really back that is the results of the game. And that is what these two teams brings us, especially with the Champions League. They're the two most highest scoring teams in the Champions League. So this game, if you are someone who visits MyBet.Africa and places your bets every time there, you know that this game is going to give you a lot of goals. So with a pre-game, you could have gone for a 3.5, a 4.5, a 5.5, and still you would have cashed out on MyBet.Africa. But let's look at both teams. With Luis Enrique, I think his setup was very good. This Paris Saint-Germain team has been like the box iron. They start the season very slow. They start the Champions League very slow. They start heating up, especially when it gets to the crucial times. And I wouldn't be surprised if they can go on and win their second Champions League in a row. And maybe look at targeting that Real Madrid to repeat that they did some seasons back, if they can also do it by winning this Champions League and also trying next season. But I think their team has been very formidable with the goalkeeper, with the back line, with the midfield, with the attack. The way they play their transitional football is one of the best in the world as of now. And in the game, you could see that every time the boys with Vitinha, you can see runners in Kvaratskhelia, runners in Desire Day, runners in that is Dembele, and every time they make sure that they open up the game and find a lot of space in between the Bayern Munich team. That is why they were able to get 5 goals in this game. And it shows how dominant they've had. Because looking at the chances created, they created less chances. That is 2 chances and missed 1. But they were able to get 5 goals. That shows how clinical and how formidable they've been this season. On the Bayern Munich side, I think Bayern Munich are also very clinical with Olise, Harry Kane, and also Luis Diaz. You could see that partnership, that quality in football, quality in players that showed on the pitch. Both teams had strong quality front line, and that is what we saw in this particular game. And I think with the Bayern Munich side, the setup was very good. Looking at Joshua Kimmich being the controller, something similar to that is what Vitinha was doing for Paris Saint-Germain, and also their front three, though they are not runners of the ball. You could see Luis Diaz as that player who comes in, drop back, wants to take the ball and make something good with it. Harry Kane being the number 9, drops into the middle, allows Musiala to move up front. He controls the tempo of the game, and we saw that assist he gave to Luis Diaz. That is what Harry Kane has added to his game. Olise also always wants to touch the line, take on players. And today, Olise made Mendes really understand that playing against quality right wingers, you need to be at your top game. Mendes only had 3 duels, 1 from Olise. That showed how quality Olise comes into this game. So looking at both teams, the disadvantage of this game, that is why we're seeing a high scoring, was both teams defensively are not that good because of the way they attack. They attack in transition. So the moment the ball moves from the middle to the attacking phase, the whole team needs to move up front. And that is why we saw a lot of goals, 9-goal thriller in this particular game. So with this, the one that had enough chances, the one that created enough chances was the one who got a lot of goals. We saw Paris Saint-Germain doing that in the first half, later in the first half, and also in the second half, they took the game by storm and got that 5 goals coming in, and that is what helped them against Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich, in the other hand, in the second half, they were a bit slower in the final third of the Paris Saint-Germain setup. When they get into that box area, every time they want to play like a certain pass to score, and they got 3 or 4 of them wrong. And I think if they had that zeal to also go in and shoot, as the Paris Saint-Germain players were shooting from afar with Kvaratskhelia, with Ousmane Dembele, I think the game would have been in their hand. But I think looking at this, Company, Luis Enrique did a very good job. And I think if this was a boxing fight, you could see that it was a high-intensive boxing game where every team is punching to make sure that they get their opponents knocked out of the game. And that is what we saw. And I think Company should be given a lot of credit in this game, because when it comes to the coaching career, coaching philosophy, coaching level, he is not there with Luis Enrique, especially looking at Luis Enrique coaching top class like Barcelona, having a lot of records or a lot of badges when it comes to the coaching field. But Company going boot to boot with him in this particular game shows how he has learnt the game, how he understood the particular game, and also what he's looking at making this Bayern Munich team do. And I think this game gave us an exciting game. Everybody that watched this game, you would feel like you are watching a highlight, because it was an attack to an attack, an attack to an attack. The game moves to the Bayern Munich side, it moves to the Paris Saint-Germain side. Paris Saint-Germain gets 5 minutes of their game, momentum on their side. The momentum switches to that is Bayern Munich also on another side. And I think it's exciting, especially we that we love football. If you love football and you want to watch a game and feel the football orgasm, that is something that you'll be looking out for, because Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich gave us that excitement, and that is what every football fan wants to see, an attacking game, unless maybe you're supporting these two clubs where you feel like, okay, you'll be at the edge of your seat, panicking, being in shock mode because of some chances some players are missing. But if you are watching from the spectators' view, not supporting any of this club, you would enjoy this game, because this game was exciting, this game was good, this game give us that type of football we are looking out for. And the last time I watched a game of high intensity, high attacking game like this was under Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola in the Premier League, that is Liverpool, Manchester City, where both teams come out, know the strength of each other, that each other attacks so well, so let's go in and attack them and make sure that we get the best out of them. But I think this will be one of the exciting games. Ousmane Dembele won the player of the match. He was exciting. To me, I would have given the player of the match to maybe Luis Diaz, or maybe that is Kvaratskhelia. But Ousmane Dembele being that key man who won the player of the match. The return leg in Munich would be an exciting game, because now it's just a 1-goal margin between them. Paris Saint-Germain visiting Bayern Munich in Germany with the fans behind them is going to be a crucial thing. But I think one of these teams are going to win the Champions League. That is my take from this particular game, because the way they attack, the way they possess the ball, the way they take chances is something that wins you game. But One thing that is going to worry them, especially when they meet it, these two sides on the other hand are very defensively solid. So if they are not able to close up those gaps they are leaving behind them when they are attacking, that is Paris Saint-Germain or Bayern Munich, Arsenal or Atletico Madrid may take advantage of them. But this was one of the most exciting games I've ever watched in the Champions League. And I know they've been Champions League games that we've gotten comebacks and a whole lot of things. But when it comes to total dominance, both teams showing up, opening up, this is one of the exciting games. And I'll give credit to Bayern Munich, even though they lost, going 5-2 and making sure that you close the gap to 1, sending the game in that return leg to your home is something that would favor them. If they can put up a good result and make sure that their defense is a bit solid, they can get that particular win or position to qualify ahead of that is Paris Saint-Germain in this game. And I think the referee decisions also had a bit one or two calls, and I know viewers are trying to let us know that some of the things that happened in the game, the referee's decision was a bit off for me, especially with Alphonso Davies penalty. I think it was from a body to a hand, which I know from FIFA rules that doesn't warrant a penalty. But with UEFA, it comes with a whole lot of things, and I think it was something that the referee should have really looked at. But apart from that, it wouldn't take the excitement of the game. It was a good game between both coaches. A real chest type of game where you want to outsmart your opponent and get the best out of your team, and that is what happened. Let me know in the comment section who was your player of the match. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this game, and also in the return leg, who do you think is going to qualify ahead of the other. This is Tactics Breakdown. We break down Champions League games, we break down games happening in the EPL in all around the world to make sure that we give you in-depth analysis, in-depth tips on what is going on. What you can do is you like, subscribe, and also comment and let us know what do you think about this game. How are you going to rate it from 1 to 10? Please let me know in the comment section and turn on the bell notification so that when we bring any content like this, you'll be the first to watch it. Thank you for watching Tactics and Touchline today on Tactics Breakdown.